Welcome to the Wired for Success podcast, your show for ambitious, mission-driven entrepreneurs who understand that there's more to entrepreneurship than finding the latest flash-in-the-pan strategies, who understand that in order to build your empire, you need a solid foundation. I wholeheartedly believe that entrepreneurship is the biggest self-development journey you can be on, and it's my mission to help you make that journey easier. In this show, I bring together the very best from science, self-development, and entrepreneurship to set you up for sustainable success. Hi, I'm Claudia Garbutt, the scientist and mindset coach behind this show, and you're listening to the Wired for Success podcast. Welcome back to another bite-sized solo episode of the Wired for Success podcast, where we talk about all things science, self-development, and entrepreneurship that help you get to that next level of success in your life and business. What are beliefs good for, and how do they steer your behavior? Why is IKEA potentially making your life harder than necessary? I'm pretty sure the answer is not what you expect, but find out in today's episode. Hey there! Last week I talked about health as the foundation of your sustainable success. And today I'd like to dig a little deeper into that topic. So far we have looked at the relationship between health and productivity and how especially those ambitious type A entrepreneurs often fixate on the wrong things to increase their productivity and how that can backfire and lead straight into a burnout. So if you missed last week's episode, just go back and check it out. It's another one of those short, bite-sized episodes that hopefully helps you raise your awareness around certain patterns in your life that you might follow without even realizing it, which is something we all tend to do to some extent. And today I want to go a little bit deeper and talk about one belief or one set of beliefs that can create these types of behavior patterns in your life that often lead to burnout. So let's start with beliefs in general. What are they good for? Well, essentially, beliefs are shortcuts for making decisions and for taking action. So what allows them to act as those shortcuts is that we don't question our truths and our beliefs all the time. They're kind of like pre-commitments to a certain behavior. For instance, if you believe in honesty and you identify as an honest person, you usually don't have to spend a lot of time and mental energy to decide whether or not you're going to tell the truth. Or if you believe that your behavior can save the planet, you'll make choices that reflect that belief. So you'll try to reduce the waste that you produce, or you'll choose products that are not harmful to the environment, or you might walk instead of taking the car all the time. Or you might donate money to environmental protection organizations, and so on. Do you see how in this scenario, all the decisions are governed by two main beliefs? The first one is that environmental protection is important. And the second one is that you can play a crucial role in protecting the planet. And those two beliefs then act as shortcuts for all sorts of decisions and behaviors in different areas of your life. So if we always questioned all of our beliefs all the time, it would take us a lot longer to make any decision and to act on the decisions we make. So it makes sense to have certain beliefs and use them as guidelines for how we live our lives. They give us structure, they build part of our identity, and they help our brain save precious mental energy by eliminating a lot of the decision making. And hopefully we can all agree that the belief in protecting our planet is a good one. It helps us make choices that are good for us, that are good for our fellow humans, as well as for the animals and for the plant kingdom. So it's a belief that supports health and life in general. That said, there are other beliefs that are detrimental, that are limiting and unsupportive. Those are the ones that you absolutely want to question to see whether or not there are other ways of thinking and approaching your goals that might allow you to achieve what you want to achieve with more ease and joy. And sometimes all it takes is to shift one of those beliefs and allow something to be easy, and it will become easy. So often we make life hard for ourselves because we believe that doing things the hard way is somehow noble and honorable. And this belief, or this set of beliefs, is what I want to focus on today. And I don't know why, but this always reminds me of the song Self-Esteem by The Offspring, where they sing, the more you suffer, the more it shows you really care. And it's something that I kind of used to believe too, that somehow my suffering gave something a deeper meaning and made it more precious. Or that, like Theodore Roosevelt said, nothing worth having comes easy. And there's so many variations of that belief. Here are a few more that you might be familiar with. Great success requires greater sacrifice. Or there is no success without sacrifice. Or the good life is to be earned with hard work and sacrifice. So effort and hard work seems to be something that somehow very paradoxical, though, when you think about it. So, on the one hand, humans and other animals, we tend to avoid effort and we choose options that require less work to get to the desired outcome. So, even rats, for instance, will learn to avoid the more physically demanding arm of a maze. And it seems like a smart choice, right? Why put more effort into something than necessary? But here's where it gets paradoxical. So, for instance, think about a loved one's birthday. So, you want to give them a truly special gift that shows how much you love them. For the sake of the argument, let's say you decide you want to give them a piece of jewelry. Now, let's look at three options. Option number one is you go to a shop and you buy something or you order it online. Option number two is you design a unique piece of jewelry and get a professional to make it for you according to your design. Option number three is you design a unique piece of jewelry, you take a month-long course where you learn all the necessary techniques, and then you make it yourself. The outcome is more or less the same for all three options, right? You give them a piece of jewelry, but what about the value of that gift? Do you feel that it increases proportionally to the amount of effort you invested? That is the paradoxical nature of effort. There seems to be this link between effort and value. And this phenomenon has of effort increasing perceived value has been shown in a number of studies. For instance, maybe you have heard of the IKEA effect. And even if you haven't heard about it, you might have experienced it yourself. People value products that they successfully built or prepared themselves more than identical products that are ready made or prepared by others. And that effect is actually quite strong. So in 2011, a study found that subjects were willing to pay 63% more for furniture they had assembled themselves than for equivalent pre-assembled items. And I think that these types of biases can also often drive ambitious entrepreneurs to put more work and effort into achieving their goals than is necessary. So I guess we all have to ask ourselves here, will the amount of effort I put into this project affect its value? Yes or no? And in case of the birthday present, your answer might be yes. But what about your current work project, for example? Let's say your goal is to make 100K this month. Is putting more effort into reaching that goal going to add any value, or is achieving that goal just as valuable if you achieved it with ease and fun and minimal effort? And I hope this is a big aha moment for a lot of you ambitious, hardworking hustlers out there. Because I'd say more often than not, we don't get extra credit for doing things the hard way. We often believe we need to work harder in order to achieve extraordinary things, but that's not necessarily true. So if your extra effort does not translate into extra value, you can allow things to be easy and achieve your goals with ease instead of brute force. And this was a hard lesson for me to learn. We don't necessarily achieve more by putting more effort into things. We're just making it harder for ourselves. So just think about all the wonderful things you could do if you didn't waste your time, money, and effort on doing things the hard way. You could achieve your goals and have fun at the same time. And that way, you wouldn't risk burning out or feeling like life is a treadmill that you can't get off. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. If we are always pushing hard and we don't take time to relax and recharge, if we don't make time for our health, we will be forced to make time for our illness. Health is your first wealth. It's your foundation. So you want to make sure you build a strong foundation. And I used to think that life was a marathon and you had to always push hard and to just keep on running, whether you felt like it or not. Just keep pushing. But what if that wasn't true? What if life was a series of sprints instead? Not in a way that we go through a cycle of work sprints that leave us burned out and a need for a longer recovery period, but a cycle that oscillates between phases of focus and deep work and then periods of relaxation and recharging, just following this natural rhythm of activity and rest. To me, that is the foundation for sustainable growth. So that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this little deep dive into one of the beliefs that might cause you to work harder than necessary and risk severe burnout. So if you realize that this has been a thought and behavior pattern for you, and you'd like help with changing that, just comment below or reach out to me, and I'm happy to answer your questions. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Wired for Success podcast. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please take a sec to rate and review my show. It would mean the world to me because you'd help me reach more entrepreneurs like yourself who would love this show. If you'd like to learn more about creating a widely successful business without sacrificing your health, relationships, or sanity, make sure to stick around and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And why don't you help me spread the word and share this show with your friends? I'd really appreciate it, and I'm sure your friends will too. Want to continue this conversation, build real relationships, and join a community of like-minded entrepreneurs? Come join my free Facebook community for visionary entrepreneurs. I would love to see you there. In the meantime, if you haven't done so already, grab my free brain priming audio file for entrepreneurs and start priming your brain for success in less than 5 minutes each morning. Curious? You can learn more about how this works and download the audio file at www.wiredforsuccess.solutions. Until next time, bye!